Dear students, in this lecture we will discuss about a package of Python which is very useful for data science operations. The name of the package is NumPy. Okay, so let us start with this question. What is NumPy? So NumPy is a Python library. Okay, so like other libraries, it is a Python library. Okay, and this is a special library, as we know that every Python library has special functions, means it is dedicated for a special work. So as we know that arrays were not primarily in Python, so this NumPy is the library which helps us working with arrays. It also has functions for working in domain of linear algebra, Fourier transform and matrices. NumPy was created in 2005 by Travis Oliphant. It is an open source project, and everybody, it means you, me, everybody can use it freely. And why name NumPy? NumPy, see, as you can see the name, it consists of two parts, num and py. Py stands for Python, and num stands for numeric Python. So in your course, we will be discussing what is NumPy. Then we will be discussing different NumPy operations, and then broadcasting with NumPy as we proceed with the slide. So NumPy is a Python library used for working with arrays. It also has functions for working in domain of linear algebra, Fourier transform and matrices. Okay, so it was created in 2005 by Travis Oliphant. It is an open source project, and we can use it freely. And the name NumPy stands for numerical Python. Okay, so num means numerical and p for Python, so we can relate with these two things. NUM stands for numerical and PY stands for Python. So the question is why we should use NumPy. Okay, so in Python we have list that serve the purpose of arrays. Then why arrays were needed? Answer is they were very slow. Okay, so I am underlining this. Because lists. Okay, because lists were slow to process. So in order to speed up the process, we need arrays, and which are provided by our NumPy. Okay, NumPy aims to provide array object which is up to 50 times faster than traditional uh, Python lists. Okay, so here you can write that how much faster. It may be up to 50 times. Okay, 50 into speed of list. Okay, so I'm just writing list here. Okay, the array object in NumPy is called as ND array. It provides lot of supporting functions that make working with ND arrays very easy. Okay, that this will be, we will be discussing in the labs also. So arrays are frequently used in data science where speed and resources are very important. Means arrays are because in data science is about making decisions from the data. Okay, and making decision is important only when we are making the decisions timely. Suppose after 2 days I have to uh, start my sales. Okay, and if I on what products to give discount, if I make this decision after 5 days, then it will that decision may be very good, but that will become invalid. Because and every time uh, for decision making we are always short of time. Okay, so let us, before we proceed further, let us discuss the definition of data science. Okay, I'm using the term data science many times, and this subject is about data science only. But just to revise, uh, what is data science? Data science is a branch of computer science where we study how to store, use, and analyze data for deriving information from it. Okay, and NumPy is helping us in that by providing us fast arrays. Okay, before I tell you how to install NumPy, let us discuss why NumPy is faster than lists. Okay, so NumPy is faster than lists because NumPy arrays are stored at one continuous place in memory, unlike the list. Okay, so suppose this we have already discussed in your other subject, which is known as data structures, where linked lists are slower than arrays because arrays are stored at continuous memory locations. So accessing the elements is faster. So the behavior is called locality of reference in computer science. Means if you are keeping things local, all the operations will be faster. Okay, this is the main reason why NumPy is faster than less. It is also optimized to work with latest CPU architectures. This is also very important because NumPy was developed uh, as per latest CPU architectures. That is why it is also uh, faster than less. And 50 times faster is a big number. I mean, suppose you can do a job with the list in 50 hours, and with the same job can be done in 1 hour. Okay, so now you can understand that how fast NumPy arrays are. Okay, and one more thing, before I tell you how to install NumPy, one question which arises is in which language NumPy written in. So NumPy is a Python library which is written partially in Python, but most of uh, its parts which require fast computation are written in C and C++. Okay, as we know that C and C++ are much faster than Python. Now move on to how to install NumPy from command prompt. Okay, so you have to go to command prompt and you have to just write pip install NumPy. Okay, and then it will be installed. Okay, just wait, some libraries will come up and it will start. And now when you want to use NumPy functions, you have to add this additional line in your Python code. And here because NumPy is a big word, so I have taken an NP as alias. You can take anything as alias, NumPy as NP, NumPy as N, NumPy as T, but taking NumPy as NP is a short alias, as well as it is very clear also. So in this slide I will tell you how to create NumPy arrays. Okay, so suppose you want to create an array, and the name of the array should be AR. Okay, so here I am writing name. Okay, then you have to write np.array, and if you want to initialize that array, means initially array should contain these elements. Then we have created an array AR with 5 elements, which are 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, so if you will print, print AR, then it will give you array like this. Okay, so you have to write this on your editor and check it. Okay, now we can also use tuple to create NumPy array. Suppose I have so how to do that? So import numpy as np. Okay, and then suppose I want to create an array. Name of the array is tuple, and now I am giving this. See, as you know, data in the tuple is represented in the form of brackets. Okay, so if this is so if data is written like this, it means it is a tuple. So if you will pass tuple, then also it will give you numpy array. As you can see that when I'm writing print tup, it is giving me this. Okay, so before you go to next slide, you try these two ways to create the array. We have several dimensions in the array. Okay, so array can be of one dimension, it can be of two dimension, it can be of three dimension, like in C and C++. So if you want to create one dimensional array, so it will be created something like this. Okay, you have to write np.array and this. Okay, and for two dimensional arrays you have to write one big bracket and inside that both the dimensions. Okay, see, just try to focus on this. This is the big array bracket, and inside that we have two arrays. Okay, now in 3D arrays, this is the big bracket. Inside that we have another two big brackets. So this bracket starts from here to here. Okay, let us change the color. This. So basically I am writing two 2D arrays. Okay, one can be like this one is like this. Okay, so in order to declare 3D arrays we have to write two 2D arrays. So in this slide I will tell you how to access elements of an array. Okay, so if I write access, a, and it gives me this array. Okay, so if I want to access the second element means this one. Okay, then I have to write a01. Okay, this is 0, this is 1. Okay, this is 1 and this is 1. Okay, and this is again 2 and this is 2. Okay, so suppose if you want to access 5, you have to write sorry, it is again 1. You have to write 2 0. Okay, means I have to go to 2 and then 0th column. Okay, so in this way we can access elements of different dimensions. Okay, suppose you want to know the shape of the array, means what is the shape of the array, means how many rows are there and how many columns are there. Okay, so you can call name of the array dot shape, and it gives 3 into 2, means this array is of contains 3 rows and 2 columns. In this I will tell you how to access one dimensional array, then I will tell you how to access three dimensional array. Okay, so as we know that if I create ARR, it is created something like this. Okay, single dimension. Okay, and okay, and if I write AR0, and here index starts from 0, this is 0 1 2 3, something like that. Okay, so 1 2 3 4. So if I write AR0 means element at 0th position, then it will return 1. Okay, similarly in case of this 3D array. Okay, now if I access 0 1 and 2, okay, then 0 row 0, and then second one is 1 and third is 2. Okay, so it will give me this element. Okay, so see it is giving me 6. Okay, so we will go to row 0 and then column 1, and then in that we will go to second one. Okay, so this is 0 1, this whole is 0 1. Okay, and in this I'm taking, I'm writing 2 means it is 0 1 and 2. This whole is 0 1. Okay, this whole is 0 1, this is 0 0. Okay, and this is again 1 0, and this is 1 1. Inside that, if you want to access, say access 12, then it will be comma 12. Okay, 1 1 2 will give you 12. Those who know Python, they have already studied slicing. Okay, what does slicing means? Slicing in Python means taking element from one given index to another given index. Okay, means suppose this is the big array. Okay, and okay, suppose I do not need this complete array, I need elements from this to this position. Okay, I mean, so this is known as extracting, this is known as slicing. So how we can do slicing? We can write indexes like this: start colon end. Okay, so it will give you a subset or a small portion of your big array. So in this slide I am going to tell you how to uh, write code to slice elements. We have already understood what is slicing. Okay, so suppose just look at this slicing element from index 1 to index 5. Okay, so you have to write this code. Okay, 1 to 5, and what will be the output? Just see, this is the one index, means it will start with 2. Then we have written 5, means 0 1, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5. Although I have written 1 to 5, but it will print up to 6. Okay, up to 6, which means start at one index. Okay, and move up to fifth element. Okay, and here fifth element is this 5. Okay, so little bit confusing. Means if I would have designed this function, I would be very clear. If at the first position I am mentioning index, then at the end position index should be mentioned, because some people confuse and they write 6 also, because 6 is at index 5. Okay, so this we have to remember. Okay, now second condition is that we have to slice element from index 4, means from index 4 to end I need. Okay, so 4 colon, and if I do not write anything, it means end. Okay, so what is the index 4? It is 5. Okay, so it will start with 4 and move till the end. Now take another example where I want to slice element from the beginning to index 4. Now let us see what will happen. If I write from beginning to 4, okay, it will not give me 5. Okay, because here this second index doesn't represent the actual index. Okay, it is the actual index minus 1. Okay, or you can say 4 elements. Okay, so starting with 0, 4 elements. So starting with 0, 4 elements, 1 2 3 4. Okay, starting with index 1 5 and go up to fifth element. Okay, something like it, little bit confusing, but if you will understand that at in the second part it is index minus 1, then it will not be any problem for you. Now slice from index 3 from the end to index 1 from the end. Okay, so here minus represents index from the end. Okay, so we have to write this, which means this is minus 1 and this is minus 2, this is minus 3. Okay, but you know that when I am starting from minus 3 and I am writing minus 1, so end will be 1 less than that. Okay, so that is why it will print only 5 and 6, not 7. Okay, because it prints before the index mentioned here. Okay, from second element, slice elements from index 1 to index 4, not included. Okay, so we have to write this. It is a 2D array. Okay, so from this one means I have already selected this portion. Okay, this has already selected this portion. Now in this portion I will do normal slicing, which we were doing in above. Okay, so 1 to 4, so here it is 0 1 2 3 4, so it will print from 7 to 9. So this was about slicing, and next everything else we will discuss in next lecture.